Hello everyone, and welcome back to another competitive Pokemon guide. Today, we have two Pokemon actually, Sandslash and Alolan Sandslash. Since there are in fact two Pokemon, let's not waste time and get into it. And also, I'll be splitting this video into two different parts. The first for Cantonian Sandslash and the second for Alolan Sandslash, and the timestamps are in the description. Sandslash's stats are fairly mediocre, with the best being its 110 defense, followed by its 100 attack. It also has a middling speed stat at base 65 and a decent HP stat of 75. It also has way too much special attack at base 45 and not enough special defense at base 55. Sandslash is a pure ground type, making it weak to grass, water, and ice, as well as resisting rock and poison and having an immunity to electric type moves. Sandslash's primary stab option is Earthquake. It can also make it even stronger with help from the incredible Swords Dance. In terms of coverage, Sandslash has access to incredible moves like Stone Edge, Knockoff, Toxic, Brook Break, Poison Jab, and the ever helpful Rapid Spin, Stealth Rock, and Spikes. Sandslash primarily acts as a Sand Sweeper on sand teams with Sand Rush. This helps get over its middling speed stat by doubling it in the sand. It also uses Swords Dance to boost the already incredible Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Knockoff. We'll make a team for Sandslash at the end, but for now, let's talk about Alolan Sandslash. Alolan Sandslash has a much better stat spread with the same HP, attack, and speed. It also has much better bulk with 120 defense and 65 special defense. It also has much less invested in its poor special attack of 25. Alolan Sandslash has a much better defensive typing of Steel and Ice. This gives it two quad weaknesses to Fire and Fighting, and it's also weak to Ground. But to compensate, it has 8 resistances to Flying, Dragon, Bug, Fairy, Grass, Normal, Psychic, as well as a quad resistance to Ice. And it's also immune to Poison. Alolan Sandslash has access to a lot of the amazing moves that regular Sandslash has, including Earthquake, Knockoff, Rapid Spin, Stealth Rock, and Swords Dance, in addition to the amazing Iron Head and Triple Axle. Similar to regular Sandslash, Alolan Sandslash also acts primarily as a Weather Sweeper, except this time for Hail. It has access to similar ability with Slush Rush, doubling its speed in the Hail. Once again, we'll be using Swords Dance, except this time with Triple Axle, Knockoff, and Earthquake. You can also use the utility set with Stealth Rock and Rapid Spin. So, let's make a team, shall we? Both of these teams will be for VGC 2021, since weather tends to work better in doubles. The best Sandstorm setter is Tyranitar, so he can be the first Pokemon on the team. We'll make use of Rock Slide, Crunch, High Horsepower, and Protect. The item will be a Focus Sash, with the ability, will obviously be Sandstream. Next up is the star of the show, Sandslash. We will be using a slightly altered version of the moveset I described earlier, running High Horsepower, Rock Slide, Brook Break, and Knockoff, and holding a Life Orb. Now we can move on to Excadrill, with Swords Dance, High Horsepower, Iron Head, and Rock Slide. I ran weakness policy on this set, but you can switch this out with really whatever item you want, and I have Mold Break to help with levitating Pokemon. Next up is Sandrush Dracovish with Fishy Strand, Dragon Claw, Psychic Fangs, and Ice Fang, holding a Choice Band. At this point, I was trying to cover our weaknesses, and so our next Pokemon is Kartana, specifically one holding an Assault Vest with the moves Leaf Blade, Smart Strike, Aerial Ace, and Sacred Sword. Our final Pokemon was also there just to cover some weaknesses, and it goes by the name of Sylveon. I ran a fairly basic Sylveon with Pixie Plate and Pixel for an ability, Hyper Voice, Calm Mind, Shadow Ball, and Mystical Fire. Hail time! The premier Hail setter in the current metagame is Alolan Ninetales. Not only is it the strongest Hail setter, it also gets access to the amazing Aurora Veil. Freeze Dry, the previously mentioned Aurora Veil, Icy Wind, and Moonblast make a pretty good first Pokemon. If you want to, you can replace Moonblast with Dazzling Gleam, if you want to hit both targets. Next up is Alolan Sandslash, running Triple Axle, Iron-Handed, Rail Run, and Brick Break. Our last ice type is going to be Arctovish. Of course, we will have Vicious Rend, as well as Icicle Crash, Psychic Fangs, and Body Slam. Obviously, having a team full of ice types is not a very good idea, so I chose Garchomp. To avoid taking damage from the hail, we're holding some safety goggles. Stomping Tantrum, Dragon Claw, Rock Slide, and Brick Break will be our moves. Our next Pokemon is Reuniclus with Calm Mind, Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Thunder Wave. We avoid taking damage due to the amazing Overcoat ability. Finally, we have Clefable with Follow Me, Moonlight for Recovery, Encore to be annoying, and Moonblast for some damage. And we will have Magic Guard to avoid taking damage, hail damage.